Hey everybody, welcome back to another Yashahime episode discussion. Episode 10. Um, I guess let's get right into it. This episode, probably one of my favorite Yashahime episodes so far, mostly because it felt like an old school Inuyasha episode, where it's sort of monster of the week, but still an entertaining monster of the week. My sort of issue with like the I believe it was the previous episode of the previous little story we had with the turtle guys, was that it was, it's sort of entertaining, but as a one-off I didn't really like it that much. With this one, I thought the story was a little more interesting with the snake guys and the snake brothers, as it were, Ginka and Kinka, I believe. One uses like fire, the other one uses like lightning, I think. Sort of reminded me of I think it's Genkaku and Kinkaku from Naruto Shippuden. I think I have their names right, and I'm assuming Gin and Kin are some sort of Japanese pun or language usage or something like that. Um, uh, isn't it? Is it gold and silver? Something like that. I don't know. I might be wrong, but um, yeah, these two characters were interesting. They're part of this clan of like snake demon guys that are attached, literally attached, and like their whole the way they view it is the purpose of their existence is to fight one another, and the stronger one survives. And it's an interesting sort of contradiction between that relationship and how Toa views family and her siblings, and specifically, obviously, Setsuna. And it was an interesting sort of clash of beliefs that you have here, where you have sort of the nature of this clan and how they've seemingly existed for some time, versus Toa's sort of I don't know if I want to say revolutionary thinking, but obviously compared to them, completely different train of thought of actually the existence of love and the actual like relationship and bond that you have with your sibling. I thought that was pretty cool. Definitely an interesting sort of comparison of those two, and it is as the story sort of progressed in this episode, we do see that while they're you know it didn't turn into like the normal sibling relationship. The sad end for these two did come with the realization that they sort of did, in fact, live for one another. They were each other's reason for existing, which was pretty cool. Uh, and yeah, it is kind of sad, but I am glad that we did get this really cool character, Joka, I believe, sort of the like upper like echelon leader of this clan, who goes to absorb Ginka and Kinka, and later on trying to obtain the pearls, as Ginka and Kinka were able to. I kind of jumped over that part. Like go in and sort of like possess the twins here, because they do have the pearls, and sort of a cool callback to the Jewel of Four Souls, where it enhances demon power. And obviously, the Inuyasha franchise, it's always about people trying to get more powerful, and Joka is obviously like that. I would have been. I kind of liked. I wish we got more Joka. I guess. Joka to me more interesting than the previous of the four perils that we met. What was her name? Kyuki, something like that. I don't know. I think just a cooler character design. Maybe I'm biased because it's sort of a prettier girl character, I guess. At least I think so. And just interesting the fact that she does like this like cool absorption technique kind of thing. Um, and she gets a cool action sequence between her and Setsuna, who Setsuna's really still struggling with this whole realization that she might actually has a sibling that's with her, somebody that cares about her, and obviously she doesn't have the memories, so it's hard for her to sort of like piece it together, I suppose. Um, and there's a cool action sequence between Setsuna and Joka, also involving God, is it Ginka, the yellow one? um, uh, they use the cool, you get the cool cyclone burst technique, which, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this. Big fan of anime powers, by the way, and I think that cyclone burst is one of the coolest moves like in the show. Um, but you had the cool combat sequence between those characters, and I think a much sort of more interesting fight than we had with like Toa and Kyuki or whatever her name was. Um, well, I don't mean to hate on Toa all the time. I just think that this was a more fitting sort of end to a battle versus just Toa sort of pulling a sort of random thing out of her ass. I don't know. She could absorb the demonic energy, or she can unleash the demonic energy. By the way, you can just do this. I don't know. I thought it was a cool way to wrap up this like little mini arc here. Is it really like progressing the story all that much? Sort of, with like the whole like memories thing that was going on. Setsuna starting to loosen up a little bit, for God's sakes, as we all wish that she will. It was sort of interesting. Like they had that funny punishment with Moroha going on, where they sort of like she gets like left behind or whatever as they fly on their little Tanuki friend. I can't remember what that character's name is. But this version's Shippo / Hachi. I guess that's some disrespect on my man Hachi, because I don't find Hachi that negative of a character as much as I do Shippo. But overall, pretty good episode. I don't have like a ton to say about this. It didn't superly like progress the series. Did I love it? No. Did I hate it? No. I think it's better than some of the episodes that we've had, which I was kind of losing a little bit of steam with this series, if I were being honest. This reinvigorated it a little bit for me, because it reminded me of one thing that I really love about the original series, is that even like with sort of like one-off demon characters, you get sort of semi-interesting backstories and a little bit of development, and it usually wraps up with this nice bow over it. And while this wasn't the happiest of endings, it was pretty heartwarming, and I think for a show about demons fighting, fairly realistic, I guess, and just an interesting sort of look into these characters' lives and stuff like that, and sort of a comparison of belief systems, and an acknowledgement that you aren't always tied to just how everybody around you sort of like believes or acts or something like that. You can be an individual. You can help other people become individuals. You can actually rely on each other, and you're not always just living for yourself. Like you do at the end of the day have other people that are relying on you, that could be living for you, stuff like that. And maybe they view you as far more important than you view yourself, which I think might happen with like a lot of people out there. So sorry if I seem a little rambly with this. I did rather enjoy this episode. Probably one of my favorite ones of the series, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's still very middle of the road for me. But that's sort of what I'm thinking with this series. It does make me happy to sort of harken back to some of the older stuff from Inuyasha that I loved. But yeah, what did you guys think about Yashahime episode 10? What did you guys think of Joka as a character, and these two brothers? I do know that they are sort of like, they're a tie to like something that went on in the manga, or way back in the original series or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon. You guys are really awesome. I'll have a link to that below. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you like what I'm doing here. The channel's been growing a lot lately, and let's keep that going. Or at the very least, just hit that like button. It really helps out the channel more than you know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.